Hello everybody, so that's tutorials. Today we're back with the Barbarian. We'll be doing the Legacy of Raekor set. The only reason I have another set on, or the chest piece from another set, I actually don't have this piece yet, strangely enough, for the Raekor set. I've got the Ring of Royal Grandeur, I'll show you later. But for this, you don't need any cooldown reduction. I didn't really change that. I didn't need any actual resource cost, as you can see with Furious Charge. It just uses a charge. A charge for Furious Charge. I guess you could put health there with one of those, but for weapons, I just used what I used for last dungeon. Doesn't really matter too much. Same with the rings. You just basically want to do as much damage as possible in this dungeon. Quite a bit different than the last one we did with the Whirlwind set. This one you want max damage, especially against elites, would be very nice. But something I actually didn't do in the dungeon, which you may need to if you're having trouble dying. If you happen to find a skeleton key or another of these legendary items that say equipped on your follower and they can't die, and then you also get a unity ring, go ahead and go to your unit and you equip them with the unity ring and this special little item, that corner right there. Makes it so they don't die and half the damage is split between you and your follower. So basically you take 50% damage and he never dies, so pretty nice. That's a lot of people use in higher level rifts, greater rifts. But anyway, for skills, for your left click, I'd recommend one of these secondary abilities that uses Fury, preferably one that doesn't use much Fury, one that has kind of a long range, such as Rend, so we have that there. Furious Charge, obviously you need this. Went ahead and did Merciless Assault, so you get more charges when you're attacking people because you're basically just doing that over and over and over and over again. So this way, the only way you run out of charges is if you don't hit anybody when you're doing it. And these four abilities in the action bar here, just a bunch of shouts and Wrath of Berserker, just so you have more defense, more offense, just kill everything faster. So, and then for the passive skills, once again, just more damage. You'll be near max fury pretty much the whole time. More damage, kill people faster when they get lower. This one didn't benefit me at all because you don't need fury for this. But if you have other weapons up there, you can other bonuses. You'll be surrounded by people quite a bit, so Brawler is nice. For the cube, here's a Ring of Royal Grandeur. Since I don't have the chest piece for the set, that makes up for it. Then for the crown, once again, that was kind of pointless. Didn't have much else didn't really need to use anything there, but if you're having trouble dying, it'll double your health from that. I would recommend this item here for Furious Charge damage. Standoff. I do have, 23% movement speed. In your boots, definitely make sure you have movement speed. I had to cube it, or not cube it, transmog it, whatever, to get the actual movement speed on there. It wasn't on there at first. And then I probably should have gotten 2% more here. You max out 25%, so don't do 50 spots there and then also have it in your boots. It's kind of a waste. But for offense, you don't need cooldown reduction. Pretty much just the bottom two there. All four of those benefit you in here. The only one that really benefits you is the top one, and maybe even life per hit if you're dying. Gain a lot of health while you're whacking people. Or charging into people, I should say. Okay, just a quick overview there, what to do, equipment and everything. For location, we're here in Act 5 again. Survivor's Enclave, we'll just go in this back area over here to the Overgrown Ruins, and you can see it on the map right there. It's not too much of a walk. Watch out for those annoying purple pools, that'll kill you pretty quick. Basically, you just go over here to the left of these pillars. We'll have the dungeon, or the portal up here right here for the dungeon. Two main achievements here, or objectives. Hit 15 different enemies with a single Furious Charge 6 times. It's really not that difficult. There's tons of enemies, so it's really easy, and you can have really long strides for Furious Charge. And then 15 different enemies with the bonus. That's what you have Rend for. Once you have at least 15 stacks, see a little counter, you'll see it pop up. See, it pops up right there. See, now it's 2, and it just goes up and up and up. But yeah, there's a lot of units, so don't really worry about grouping people. I didn't group very much at all. I wouldn't recommend grouping unless you're like, I don't know, 100 enemies or less towards the end. But basically, you just kind of look for big groups of enemies, make big strides. Sometimes you get them without even looking, like you'll just go through a doorway like that, and you'll get 15 enemies sometimes. So I wouldn't concentrate too much on just looking for enemies, because it's a pretty quick dungeon if you're not paying attention. One of the times I forgot to have more movement speed, and I wasn't even close to finishing it, and the time ran out. So definitely need movement speed. You could have sprint as one of your abilities too if you already do tons of damage or you're not dying, you don't need any defense. Yeah, see the enemy hit with 37-50% damage bonus spreader. Just get, once you have 15 stacks, like right now I just barely hit 15, you do it. I don't really pay attention to the stacks, you just kind of do it every, I don't know, every 20 seconds, whatever. Or you can just do it over and over and over again, and eventually you just get the bonus. And when those guys pop, you don't have to worry about the little monsters that come out of them. They don't actually count. You don't actually have to kill those. They're not on the counter. And then these elites, you really shouldn't die. The only way you might die is from the elites. They're a little blast afterward, or from these guys popping. Their guts spilling out. You could get a lot of damage from those. But otherwise, you really shouldn't have much trouble. Especially if you have the amethyst, that purple gem in the helm, especially with Lyric's cube there, it'll give you tons of health. So you can have pretty long stride here. Another important thing is make sure you kill everything. There were a few times where I had 2 enemies left with like almost a minute time to spare, and I still couldn't find it because it's a pretty big map. You basically just go in one big circle. Okay, but here I'm almost kind of only have 2 more times. I don't think I've been gathering them up. At this point I knew not to. Like I said, you can have sprint for parts like this where it's kind of slow. But otherwise, you'll just kill these guys, get out of there before the blast hits you. Obviously, if you have the furnace, that would be very beneficial. Killing the elites quite a bit faster, but I don't have that, so obviously you didn't use it. We have one more. And there's have a big room coming up here. Usually there's a lot of people in here. You can almost always get the achievement in one of these big rooms. But I almost have it. Once you have that, it's just a mad dash. Just kill everything as fast as possible. Just dash like crazy. Pick up this random item that sometimes drops. Okay, we're getting kind of close here, but I'm not worrying too much. So we still have over 50 enemies. Here we go. It's a big group, and boom, 15. Okay, so now that we did that, we're pretty much just gonna Freer's charge like crazy. Since you get a charge for every enemy you hit, you can just do this over and over and over again as long as you hit somebody. Otherwise, you only have 3 charges, so just be careful of that. You don't want to sit there waiting for a charge to go up. And luckily for me, this time I didn't miss anybody, so I got this pretty quick here. Okay, 40 seconds left, about that. Legacy Smegacy. But see that little, whatever that guy's called. He's attacked me. You know that, stupid fiend. Seeing they don't count, or proof right there, they don't count towards the monster achievement there for killing everything. But yeah, it's pretty easy. I mean, there's several pieces I probably could have picked that were better. So I mean, if you do a lot more damage, then you obviously complete this even faster. Killing elites, I would have completed a lot faster with elites. But yeah, it's pretty easy. The most difficult thing you'll probably have is if you miss 1 or 2 people and you have to go back around if you can't find them in time. But just stack as much damage as possible. And that's pretty much it. Leave any comments, questions below. But thank you for watching, and see you in my next video.